Welcome, everybody. This is the joint meeting of the Public Health and Safety Committee and the Finance and Budget Committee, the RTM. This meeting is Wednesday, January 18th, 2023, and we're starting at 7:32. Each committee has a quorum, and we might as well jump right in and discuss the police contract. That's why we're here. And Kate Bush, who's our administrator for the town, she's here. And if Kate, would you just give a little taste of your executive summary?
Sure. Just overall, the average annual increase of the cost of this contract is 0.03 mils per year, and that's based on the 1022 grand list. That is also making the assumption that we're status quo in terms of union positions, medical premiums, and it's based on quantifiable items. The general wage increases are 7/122, 2 3/4, 7/123, 2 3/4, 7/124, 3 1/8, and 7/125, 3 1/8. So it is a 4-year contract. The wage increases are higher than average negotiated settlements for all employee types. It's not just public safety. Slightly higher than average arbitrated settlements for the current year, but lower than average arbitrated settlements for fiscal 24, which is the only other year we have data for at this time. I want to point out that this union is mature. Right now, approximately 2/3 of the members are at the top step of their rank, which means they only get the guaranteed wage increase for the life of the contract. There are no more steps for them. By the end of the contract, if there are no...
I want an immediate concentration of area reconnaissance in the northeastern sectors.
I'm sorry, I'm hearing something.
Yeah, Barry. Can you...
Okay. By the end of the contract, if there's no retirements or changes in rank, over 90% of the members would be at the top step. So the average cost increase over the duration of the contract is 3.95%. And that could change if there are changes in personnel or rank, which we actually do expect to happen in the next year. There are no changes to the provisions of the medical plan. We did agree to increases in the premium cost share, going up to 11% next July, 12% the July after, and then 13% on the last day of the contract. That does provide us cost savings based on the current premiums. I should say the premiums right now. We are looking at increases in our premiums for July 123. There are no changes to the police pension plan. One of the things that they were proposing was a COLA, and we did not want to agree to a COLA. But there was a lot of concern about retirement savings for police officers and the fact that a good number of the members are not eligible for the retiree medical. So one thing we agreed to...
Kate, why is that?
Why they're not eligible?
Yeah.
Several contracts ago, it was maybe the 2008 time period, they agreed to give it up for new hires. At that time, we agreed to 4% increases in their pay, and we increased the cap on their pension. So trying to think of the exact date, I believe it was around 2008. So anybody hired after that date is not eligible for the retiree medical. So what we agreed to was allowing officers to cash in up to 6 of their sick days in exchange for a contribution to their 457 plan. We believe that it will encourage employees to save for their retirement, but it will also encourage them to manage their sick time appropriately. So we feel it benefits both sides of the contract. And then there's some small increase in longevity pay and small increase in sick time. And then language changes around personal day use and bereavement time. There was a lot of administrative changes, cleaning up things from the last contract where we would say effective this date, taking a lot of those things out that we no longer needed. Overall, I think, we had a good team. Our team was, besides myself, Jen Charneski, our finance director, Susan Barksdale, who's our HR director, and Kevin Cunningham from the police commission. And I think we worked well together. We put a lot of effort into evaluating all the proposals and costing them out, trying to, consider all the things that could go wrong or all the ways things, new provisions could be interpreted or could be used before we agree to things. And I think the police were very thoughtful. They had a mix of ranks and length of service. And, I found they were always looking at the whole of their union, not just particular interest groups. So it was a good process. We didn't get everything we wanted, and we had to give up some things that we really didn't want to give up. But I think overall it's a fair contract for both the taxpayers and the police officers. So happy to answer any questions.
Kate, just a quick thing. Usually we've been doing 3-year contracts. This is a 4-year contract. I know you mentioned it at the Board of Finance, but I forgot what your answer was.
They had proposed the 4-year contract, and we didn't have any particular objection to it. So we were willing to agree to it. We didn't see a downside to the town for us. I will say, the other thing I said at the Board of Finance meeting was, it was a little bit challenging with the rate of inflation right now in dealing with some of the requests. If you have any other questions, I'm happy to, answer them as best as I can.
Kate, Jim Cameron, I got a couple of questions. One little typo on the executive summary. The previous contract expired June 30th of last year?
Yeah, it expired June 30, 2022.
Okay. How does this wage scale compare with comps from neighboring towns?
Our police officers are well paid.
They paid more or less than?
More.
They're paid more than New Canaan, Westport?
I can't say that I specifically looked at those two, but we are generally one of the, more well-paid communities with our police department.
Okay. And before I forget, thank you very much for the negotiation process that was involved with this. I know it was long and difficult, and I really appreciate all the professionalism. So you referenced the signing bonus of $1,500 per member employed at the date of the execution of the agreement. So it's not a signing bonus as much as it's a retention bonus. Is that fair to say?
It was,
everybody gets it.
I don't really, we went back and forth over what to call it. It was more a case of, recognizing the rate of inflation right now, but not wanting to give a wage increase that reflected the rate of inflation right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that'll be for everybody who is currently employed, not just new hires.
It would have to be people who are employed. Basically, you're voting on Monday night. So people employed on Monday. So somebody who left last month will not get it, but somebody who's leaving on February 1st would.
Okay.
Can we also make
Is there a justification for us paying more than comparable towns?
That's what has been negotiated over the years. It's very difficult. I can show you, the spreadsheets. When we look at the comps, we look at wages, we look at all the benefits, the medical insurance benefits, the life insurance benefits, the paid time off, whether they receive retiree medical or not, what kind of pension benefits they receive, including COLAs. So we try and put together a package that is comparable overall. So while we may be on base wage higher paid. There are other areas where we're not as at the same level as some other towns.
And how much turnover is there? And do we currently have open positions or finding it difficult to hire?
We, yeah, I can't say we have a lot of turnover. We have had some lately. We had hired 2 officers that had been up in, from Burlington, Vermont. And Burlington offered tremendous incentives for them to go back. It is difficult right now to hire. There, you know, the number of candidates who want to be police officers is lower than it has been in the past. And then the quality of those candidates can be challenging. So right now they're actually, you know, they try and get when they can a transfer from another department, somebody who's already qualified.
So we
Kate,
don't have to
this is-
send them through the academy at our expense, right?
Yes.
Kate, this is Bert. Since I might be conflicted, the civil dispatchers are not included in this contract.
Correct. You are not conflicted. They are part of the
Okay,
town hall
thank you.
union.
Thank you.
Hey, could you explain also how we're voting on this? We're not voting to approve the contract. Is that right? We're voting not to.
You're voting not to reject it,
Okay.
basically. And I think Jack has this in his speech from every union contract. If you were to reject it, what happens is it goes to arbitration. And in all likelihood, an arbitrator would impose the settlement that was agreed to at the table.
And Kate, it's Lois. I want to ask the steps on the on their salary schedule. Is that just
Mhm.
based on time?
Pardon?
Is that just based on time, number of years that they've been here?
It's based on time and a positive evaluation.
Kate, I want to go back to something else we mentioned. If I believe we said that we are at the Board of Finance, I thought we were for fully staffed, we were down 2, but one of the 2 is in the police academy now. Is that correct? Did I state that properly?
We are down, I think we're down 2.
Right.
We're about to be down 3.
Okay. Now the down 2, that does not include the one who's at the academy, because we are paying them, correct?
Correct.
And,
We have
and this-
46 right now. We have 1 officer who's retiring February 1st.
And then this increases retro to July 1st of
Yes,
last
it
year.
is. Yes.
Kate, the civilian dispatchers took over roles that the police were covering, correct?
Yes.
So effectively, that as we hired those civilian dispatchers, we added to our police headcount, correct?
No, we didn't add to the head count. We freed an officer up from being on the dispatch desk and allowed them to get back out on the road or to do other police duties.
Okay, the headcount was stable, but
The head count has been stable since 1980 something.
But effectively, they were covering those 5 people, and those 5 people went onto the town budget. So effectively, in my view, they've hired 5 people in the time frame because they took the responsibilities for 5 people away from the police. Does that logic make?
Yes, but also, you know, by that same logic, we've lost 2 to the Board of Ed.
So the 2 police officers are paid by that was going to be the next question. The 2 police officers that are in the schools are paid by the Board of Ed,
No, they're paid by
No.
the town.
paid by the town. Okay.
And there's a rationale for that. And that is they are under the command of the police chief, not the Board of Ed. That's one of the big differences. These are police officers who, in an emergency, can be pulled out of a school to handle an emergency in town. So, not that we have a lot of emergencies, but just so that we understand, they are fully under the command of the police chief.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
If not, if you don't mind, because it expedites the other aspect. Can people from F&B turn on their video other than mine? Because I can't figure out how to do it today.
Jack, 1 minute. There's one person who I have a phone number and I don't know who it is. Can the person at 203-984-4732?
Jenny Schwartz.
Thanks, Jenny.
Oh,
Jenny Lowe.
Jenny.
Okay.
You got
Okay.
it.
Can I have somebody to move this, the motion to approve or not reject the police, contract from F&B? Somebody
I
raise their
will
hand.
move so, Bert.
I have Bert and a second. I have Barry. I'm just gonna ask, are there any no votes? Speak up or forever hold your peace. Are there any abstentions? Peter's gonna abstain. I understand why. And I'm assuming that from there, everybody else is a yes. So that with the abstention, we are unanimously passing this. For all F&B members, we are now going to go to meeting to join the education, but give me 4 minutes because I have not created the sign-on yet from my side as administrator for go to meeting. So you gotta let me go there and sign on, and then I'll accept people going in there. So thank you very much. Thank you all from Public Health and
Okay.
Safety.
Thank you,
Always a
Jack.
pleasure to do business with you guys. And
Thanks,
Kate,
Jack.
always appreciated. Thanks.
Hi, thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Jack.
Okay.
You're on.
So I know, I'm just looking, I still see Bert and Rolf is still there.
Holly.
Hey there,
Hi, Holly.
sorry, are we done?
Hi.
No, we're going to take a
No,
vote
we need
ourselves.
to vote, but I just did.
Oh, okay, confused.
Are we just now Public Health and Safety?
I think
I
so.
believe so.
But I still see Rolf is there. Is that, can we get rid of him?
Oh, you want me to just make them go away?
Dump
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Goodbye, Rolf.
Bye.
Bye, Rolf. Okay, there we go.
Would you like a
Okay.
motion, Mr. Chairman?
Oh, wait.
Well, do you want, let Kate,
Wer-
see Kate for anything?
Yeah, any more questions for Kate Werner? You're still there.
Yes.
I have a
Am I
question.
supposed to log out of here as well?
Yes.
Oh, and then log into
thank
the
you.
other one. All right. All right.
Right.
Sorry. Hang on.
Okay.
Is Kate there still? Hi,
Yes.
Kate.
Yes.
This is Beth Pope. I just had a question. You had said comparably, on base wages, Darien is more generous than that of like comparable towns, but on other, in other categories, we're not. Can you just delineate a few of those categories?
I would say the two most obvious are retiree medical.
Yeah.
We know, it was cut off, and there is no COLA in our police pension, which a number of other towns do offer.
Okay. And then that retiree medical is though something that they gave up in collective bargaining
Yes.
in 2008 or 2006 in exchange
Yeah.
for a higher increase that year or something?
Yes. Yeah, and a slight boost to their pension, to the maximum on their pension.
Okay. So that was sort of bargained away.
Yes. Yeah.
One way of looking at it. Okay, thanks. Just curious.
Yeah, Laura.
Hi, Kate. So basically,
even though our base is a little bit more than other towns, does it offset the fact that we don't have the retiree medical and the COLA? Does it kind of balance out? Is that?
I think that's going to depend on who you ask. You know, I feel like every negotiation they ask for a COLA, and every time we fight it. The retiree medical, when it was negotiated out, there was an unwritten agreement that we wouldn't try to erode the benefit for those who still had it, and they wouldn't bring it back. That doesn't mean they couldn't, but I think it balances out. I think there, it's the whole of the the benefits, the whole of the wages, and some of it's not just about money, it's about quality of life. I mean, that has become a much bigger issue with all bargaining units, all employees. For some people, I don't think it would matter how much we paid them. There's not a lot of room for promotion in Darien because we're a small department. So if they have plans to advance through ranks, there's not a lot of opportunity for that here. So it doesn't matter what we paid them, they'd want to go to a bigger community. But I think on the whole, we offer a good package. We don't get everybody, we don't get all of our top candidates, but we offer a good package.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Kate, how many lieutenants and sergeants are there? What's the sizing of the different positions about? I'm not going to hold you to it.
Yeah, I think it's 4. I don't think I have it's like 4 or 6 lieutenants, and there are more sergeants. I'm not attached to my work computer, otherwise I could pull up the roster.
And so has that been stable over time?
Yeah, pretty much. I think, we've maybe added 1 or 2 in the last couple decades, but the overall headcount has been steady, and you'll probably hear that coming because there's going to be a request for an increase in the budget. But the overall headcount has not changed since the 1980s.
Kate, you mentioned that, this is an expensive community in which to live. Do any of the police officers live in town? And if they don't, or how far do they commute from? Because I know that's a big issue with the teachers and stuff too, right?
They commute from pretty far away. There have been some that live up in Newtown, out towards Trumbull. There were some at one point that lived in West Haven. There are some that live in Darien. Don't think we have anybody over the line in New York right now, but we did at one time have that as well.
And do they work a 5-day week?
Yeah.
Like
some are
town halls?
assigned Monday through Friday at the station, and they do work a 5-day week, but it's a I would challenge you to try and figure it out. It's called the Yates Plan, named after one of our record sergeants, and it's a rotating. The days and the evenings rotate up and down. A couple days and a couple evenings and a couple days off. So they work on average. Their pay is based on a 40-hour week, and that's how it averages out. But it's not always in any given week. It's not always 40 hours.
And any assignments they get doing traffic duty for Eversource or whatever construction stuff, that's in addition to their salary. That's not on us, right?
That's not on us. That's on the company or the entity that hires them.
Right.
And that doesn't factor in the pension either.
That does not, and overtime does not.
Mm-hmm.
Only their base wage does.
Are they forced to work a lot of overtime?
Right now, there's a fair amount because we're short. So yeah.
Would you like a motion,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
I would, yes, thank you.
Can I ask
Uh,
just one question before
Sorry.
we move anything? That $1,500 bonus, are there any other town contracts that are up for negotiation soon that might see that bonus and want the same?
Yeah, there's the Public Works Union contract is coming up, and you know, I don't know if they'll ask for that. That union actually got a bonus their contract because they agreed to move from weekly payroll to biweekly. So we'll see what they ask for, but it's all got to be part of the same package and, a totality. We don't necessarily say, well, just because you got that, we'll give it to everybody. It would depend on what other kind of things we were seeking from them.
Okay.
But that
Thank you.
$1,500 bonus, I'm sorry, Jackie, that $1,500 bonus represents what in terms of a percentage of the average police officer salary?
I don't know. I didn't do that math.
Okay.
It's not on an annual basis. It's not a lot.
But it's a one-time
It's a
bonus.
one-time.
Because the step increases are they're not even keeping up with inflation right now.
Well, there's one step increase that is huge. For a patrol officer, the step from 4 to 5 is a very large step.
No, I'm sorry. I meant the wage increases of 2 3/4.
Yes.
3
That's
1/8.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the bonus sort of
The idea was to even
lessens
it
the
out.
pain of
Yeah.
the current inflationary cycle.
But doesn't build it into their wages permanently.
Right. Okay.
And one last thing, you don't have a percentage difference of how we fare against another town in terms of overall, either you're looking strictly at base salary, correct? Like how much higher are we percentage wise compared to?
I don't have that.
Jim, go ahead.
I would move approval of the police association contract as presented and recommend the same to the full RTM on behalf of the Public Health and Safety Committee.
We're supposed to do not to reject.
Yeah, I'm just approving it, but not rejecting it. You know what I mean. Accepting it as presented, maybe is the word.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second? Okay, Beth, thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Yeah, I think it's unanimous. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, thank you, Kate.
Thanks, Kate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kate.
Thank you, Kate.
I know.
Good night.
Night, Kate.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you. The only other piece of business was to approve the minutes of the December 5th meeting. Any comments or concerns? All in favor of approving?
Aye.
Okay, good. That's unanimous. Okay. I really don't have any announcements. I know we are going to be getting into budget season, and there's a spreadsheet that I'll be sending out to everybody. There's different aspects of the budget that we can all participate in, based on whether it's social services, the Board of Health, the police, fire, things like that. So I'll send it out to everybody.
Jim,
Yeah.
back, Tom, I disconnected
Yes.
myself when we had to vote, so obviously I'm in favor of the contract.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, thank you. Sorry about that.
No, thank you. So, and we've really done our business tonight, so I don't feel a pressing need that we meet on Monday night at 7. So I'll just cancel that meeting. I don't see anyone objecting.
I have a question. I'm not sure. I had surgery, so I've missed several meetings, but I wanted to ask, at the middle school, there's a traffic safety issue with how parents are accessing middle school in the morning or in the afternoon at pickup. Cars literally, they line up, and then once the driveway is full, they line up down the street and they block the whole Hollow Tree Ridge Road. So if somebody doesn't have a child to pick up, they have to literally go around over the double yellow line into oncoming traffic. When there's another lane, people choose not to go up that lane because they don't want to park in the parking lot. So I
Sounds like a quick job for the school security officer.
Well, I thought it was like, I just felt like I didn't know whose purview it fell under. Like, I know that the police department handles, safety, like traffic, and like, it just kind of, I didn't know who to bring this up to, in terms of like how to resolve. It's a simple solution. Once you can't park in the driveway anymore, you just pull in and you have to park your car. It's like very simple. But I don't know.
Laura, I'm a secretary at the middle school, and traffic has come up a lot.
I see.
Right now, the SRO, his wife just had a baby yesterday, so he is not there. And
what is the SRO? What is the
School
SRO?
resource officer?
Oh, the school resource officer. Sorry.
Police officer who's assigned to the school.
But he generally is not, I don't know if he's tasked with directing traffic. Sometimes the campus monitors assist with directing traffic, but to be honest, they're mostly involved with getting the kids on the buses. So they're not necessarily free for the traffic. We have inquired in the past about police officers helping to direct traffic in the morning and in the afternoon, and have been told no.
Somebody in the community reached out to me about the traffic study that was done for the new development going up, where there's going to be a childcare. Like, they were very concerned about the conflict in dropping daycare, like young children, coinciding with the Middlesex pickup and drop off. So I know that there was a study done, and I was told, I went to the police department and I found out the captain who's in charge of traffic. And I thought, maybe I'll just leave a message with her regarding this simple,
There's no downside to doing that.
Okay. I left her a message. I wanted to kind of throw it out there and ask you guys, like, since you have a lot more expertise and experience, if I was doing the right thing, and that's what I did.
So is it a question of, though, like, I live on Hollow Tree. I know exactly the traffic you're referring to. But is there, I usually, just to be honest, just don't drive down there at those times. I go around back roads. But is there never a police officer that's out there directing?
No.
No.
Because I'm always, my kids are music and they're play. I'm like,
Bless you, Jim.
Excuse me?
God bless
Jim
you.
sneezed.
I'm there all the time, and it's there's no manpower to manage that. And sometimes I feel like just saying, can you just like pull in the other way so that you're not blocking the road? But who am I? A crazy parent on the RTM. Like, I can't do that. Like, it's out of my purview. So no, there's never anyone.
No.
And my guys are 7th graders. So I've been doing this for, a year and a half now.
You could also take this to the police commission, which meets regularly and loves to hear from people who are concerned about particular issues. But I think starting with the captain who is responsible for traffic is probably a good place to start.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, well, thank you, everybody. I'll go ahead and go ahead, Jim.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay. All in favor? Okay, well, thank you. We'll see you all Monday night.